welcome back, dear viewers, and you're still on the Nile Cruise on Nile TV International, and our topic for this sector, the digital frontier, the heritage and tourism in the smart era. And as the global travel shifts toward a data-driven future, the integration of the smart application and the digital marketing is no longer a luxury, as we know all, but it's a fundamental economic necessity for the heritage side. And to shed more light over this topic, we are most delighted and joined by Dr. Mahmoud Hassannen Ibrahim, a distinguished expert in tourism and heritage economics, who will share insightful information and digital experience. Thank you so much for being on the Nile Cruise, Dr. Mahmoud.
Thank you, and thank you for your invitation.
Thank you so much. Dr. Mahmoud, how was the definition of tourism or the tourist experience evolved with the advent of the digital information in the heritage sector?
Tourism experience is a trend today. It's not only here in Egypt, or what we aim here to achieve here in Egypt. It's worldwide. All the world now like to enhance the experience of tourism. But the question here, how we can enhance this tourism experience? Nowadays, we all hear about digitalization. The digitalization is in all industries. Also, the tourism industries is aimed to work with digitalization. Digitalization comes through using the smart application, smartphones, platforms. All of these apps, all of these digital tourism enhance and they make the experience more easier for tourism. How that? You know that by the end of 2026, 65% all the bookings will be made online.
Yes.
That now we are expected, as you can imagine, 65%, more than the half. All of them will come through online. So here we have discussed this issue with the travel agency, how they can overcome the traditional way and use the digital tourism and begin to use the online. Before 10 years, the travel agents has a big problem in dealing and working with this kind of tourism, digital tourism. But now, alhamdulillah, Egypt is going good steps in how to digitalization all the industry of tourism. We can talk about first what's had done in Grand Museum. Now most of the hotels can have their private page to book through it. Also there are some applications here in Egypt can book through it in the hotels or in the heritage site. So finally here in Egypt to can put food in the tourism industry, we have to enhance the tourism experience. Through what? Through the digitalizations.
Well, Dr. Mahmoud, also from an economic perspective, what are the primary advantages of transition from a traditional ticket, as you said, to integrated electronic booking systems?
Well, economy had a good effect in most of the industries, especially tourism. We can talk about one of the most important things in economy. It's a macroeconomic shifts. The world now is so dynamic. It's not a state anymore. Now we can see tomorrow begin a war, and that had a bad effect on tourism. So here comes a macroeconomic shift. What is a macroeconomic shift? It's a broad a change in the economy, which had an effect on employment, inflation, and even tourism. And that may cause a large scale, a large change in the monetary policy or the inflation and tourism as well. So here we have to put in our mind how we can act in the kind of economic shifts. Here comes tourism. Tourism can provide monetary policy, can provide more hard currency for Egypt. So the economy, we can achieve good steps in economy. So macroeconomic shifts has a great effect on tourism. How that? We can see that through the transition from traditional industry to the digital industry. Most of people ask, now here in Egypt, you see, we have a lot of travel agencies. This travel is about 2,500 travel agency. This travel agency has branches over Egypt. Now we mean to close these branches and begin to talk only online? Of course not. Who will work in the online? The people, the employment, where in these branches. Some people or some tourists still like go to the branch itself and begin to ask where I like to, for example, visit Egypt, in which place I can visit. Then he like to make face-to-face contacts. Where that happen? There in the branches. So still the traditional tourism is very important, and we have to link between the traditional tourism with the digital one.
This is my my coming questions. How can we or how can the smart applications in general bridge the gap between the academic heritage preservation and the modern travelers' need for engagement?
Well, as I said, it was a big gap here in Egypt. It was before 10, yes, exactly. Now, alhamdulillah, the gap has become more not big as previous. By using the digitalization, the smart apps and the platforms, we have to learn the employees how they use this digital tourism, how they can use this digitalization, how they use the new technology. Actually, even the 3D technology has effect on tourism. How they can do that? By train the employees in the travel agency, how to train the people who connected directly with the tourism by using the smart apps or smartphones and also the platforms.
Well, also in what ways, in your point of view, Dr. Mahmoud, do digital platforms allow the heritage site to compete in a global market that often prioritizes the contemporary attractions?
As we know, the world now is so dynamic. It's even the information, even the information. Before, then the data is so state. We can't. The data is today, after a month, one need to be the same. But now the information becomes so dynamic. So we have to deal with this point. Who can help us with that is the newest way or the newest version of technology. By link it to the new version of technology, as I said, and the digitalization here. By the way of train the employees, give them training, a good training, because the travel agents now want to give, not now, I mean before, want to give big training for the employees. So they are not connected and linked to the new style of tourism, the digital tourism. The digital tourism should be also linked with the digital marketing. And this transition from the old one, traditional one, to the digital one. How can market the place by digital way? How we can connect emotionally with the tourists who like to choose your place? How can link it with them to finally can he choose your destination? Here we can create the idea of repeating visitors. You know, repeater guests can be our, you can say, like digitalizing, our blogger outside. And it comes out by repeating guesting about the digital marketing.
Dr. Mahmoud, also can you explain the smart heritage concept and how it contributes to the sustainable development of the ancient Egyptian sites?
Smart heritage sites should be managed by digitalization. Yes, exactly. But there is a point so important here. By using digitalization or technology in the heritage sites may harm the site itself. But what's the solution? The technology may harm the heritage sites. By using technology on the long run or long term in the same place may harm the site, may harm the culture of the place, may harm the employees themselves. But what the solution here? The solution comes about the new definition, sustain the place, sustainability. How can sustain that place? We have to put ideas of protect the place for the future generation. This comes by working all the ministries together. all of us have to work together. The local people has engaged in the working of protected the place, and from time to time we have put an eye on the technology and the effects on the heritage side. Here we can change the management from reactive and manual process to proactive way, and finally we can sustain the place and protect the place itself.
For sure. Dr. Mahmoud, also in your point of view, what the role does big data play in understanding the visitor behavior and optimizing the economic yield of the tourism landmarks?
By economic wise, it's not stated as before. It's so dynamic at the moment. Even the tourist, the person himself,
yes,
his ideas always change from time to time. But he needs to get a decision to visit the place. Here comes the rule of our decision maker, how he can link it emotionally with the person. And this comes by the media, which done by outside with the people maybe are famous, maybe can have a media in our heritage side, so we can link it emotionally with the person himself. So here comes we have to create the idea about the repeater guests.
How can the augmented reality and the virtual tours be monetized without devaluating the physical experience of the visiting site in place?
AR and VR actually play a good role in this issue, especially in the digital marketing and digital tourism. While we are sitting in the same room, you would like to have information about heritage site, about any place. You begin by maybe wear glasses or have on your mobile. Then you begin to check or search what you need, and finally you get the information. Here is the VR. The AR, you are in the same, in the place itself. You are in the site itself, but you don't have enough information about the place. So you begin to use the AR. You are in the same place now. You are in the place, but just you hold your mobile and open your camera, and they begin to on the site and have the information about it. So the AR and the VR is still here in Egypt. Don't have a good steps in it, but we hope to make this gap.
Well, Dr. Mahmoud, how do smart applications enhance the accessibility of heritage sites for diverse demographic groups and international researchers in the same time?
Communication field is so important here, and the communication here we have to find new ways in the digital tourism. This digital tourism means improving the way of digitalization and enhancing their tourism experience, and as well increase their satisfaction, the guest satisfaction, by providing new ways in digitalization like AR and VR or maybe as we see in the Grand Museum. We are sitting in front of one statue and begin to press a button, then get the information about that. This kind of digitalization which help the tourism who don't like to be combined with a guide. Yes. So make the tour more easy. When I'm check on the internet, I'm beginning to search where I can go the nearest place to me. So when you put most things he needs, the tourism like restaurant, cafe or what else, to be in the GPS, so he can, when he search the nearest thing to him, it can be more easier for his finally the tourist experience.
Yes. Let us go back again to the seamless electronic reservation system. To what extent, in your point of view, the impact on the country's overall tourism competitiveness ranking?
Here we have in the Grand Museum their platform. You can easily ticket any number of tickets you need, and that makes the tour more quickly and more easier. Once you go, you book before,
yes,
before the group comes to the museum, go there and they make it directly your tour. So it makes the tour more easier and quicker, more than the bus. More than you go and they make it to have a ticket and buy a ticket for a big group for maybe 50 person or 100 person. But when you book it before, actually you save time the tourists need it. And this experiment is very good, had done in Grand Museum, Egyptian Grand Museum.
Okay, how do you evaluate the digital storytelling be used as a tool for the serious tourism to educate the visitors in the museums or in the historical sites, rather than just providing a superficial entertainment?
There's satisfaction.
Yes.
How we can satisfy the tourism. If before we could satisfy a kind of tourism, nowadays it will be not the same. It changed totally.
Yes.
Why? Because the need is changed. So from time to time you have to meet a questionnaire with the tourists, then ask the experts, ask the guides, ask the hotels, ask the chamber of tourism what the tourists aim to, what they need nowadays. If you are aim to work with youth, here the need is different. So the satisfaction process will be different from the older people who like to come to visit cultural places or going to the sea. Also here the kind is different. Egypt have a lot of sightseeing, not only culture place. So we have to make the planning and strategy for each kind of tourism have to be separate from the other. So I think we can reach the satisfaction of the tourists, so it can be more easier to act according to the digitalization.
Well, Dr. Mahmoud, looking at the economics of the heritage, how do we balance the cost of the high-tech infrastructure with the long-term preservation of the ancient sites?
By using digitalization for long term can harm the culture sites and the place itself, and may harm the local people. Maybe the local people not connected or linked well with the high technology. So finally, may the technology harm the place. So what's the solution? The solution is work together between how to sustain the place and link it with the technology. And we have an eye on the technology and see the effects on the people and the place from time to time, daily. Should have done, and then we have to see some choices how to sustain the place itself by to keep the place protected for the future generation. So working sustainability with technology should be linked together in to protect the place.
Yes. What does the smart museum of the future look like, and how will change the economic landscape of the heritage professionals?
Smart museums is working with smart apps and smart platforms in order to facilitate the tourism experience and to make the tour more easier. Like we can see some information behold on the statue, the platforms give information, the GPS, how can you get from place to place. All of these platforms should be enhanced from time to time to can make the tour more easier for the tourists.
Well, Dr. Mahmoud Hassannen Ibrahim, thank you so much for joining us on Nile TV International, and thank you, and we appreciate your time and your information.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and we'll be right back to continue the Nile Cruise in this special edition for tourism.
الحضارة المصرية هي